Tired of the same boring t-shirt? Love is the answer. What better way to share it than to wear it? Our tee is uniquely designed with you in mind and is super comfortable. Plus, it's for the family and in different colors so you can pick your color and share the love. Get your tee for only $26.17 and create a trend of love.
Yes. Hi, everybody. Hello, everyone out there. It is Wednesday, Thursday, because you know what we do up in here is like buy one, get one free. So it's always Wednesday, Thursday, or Tuesday, Wednesday, or one day plus the other. Why? Because when we are in one evening, somebody else is in a morning. So we are a global platform. So we share space. So welcome to another episode of the Question Live Show with your host, moi, Verona Willis-Brown. Come on in the room. Come on in. This is what we do. Every day we are here at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So guess what I'm going to tell you to do? Adjust your clock so you can be a part of this platform. So you can be a part of this family. We are one big family over here, honey. Yes, we are one big family. And the incorrect way, yes, we is. Okay, but don't say the incorrect way. Say the correct way. Yes, we are. So we said, come on in the room and let us do what we do over here. On this platform, we inspire, we empower, we kind of motivate you, but most of all, we support each other. Yes, we do. We latch arm and we put our fingers together, our toes together, heart together, head together, and we go on this journey. Yep, indeed. It is the journey called life. And we are all on this journey. Somewhere on this journey, anywhere, somewhere, hello, somebody. On this journey, there is a path called success. We all want to have a success story. So we come on in here and we work together so we can create our success story. Why would I say that? Because success cannot be defined by itself. No one can succeed by themselves. Therefore, we need each other to come a little bit closer so we could work together. The more we work together, the stronger we will be. And the stronger we will be, we will grow better. We will grow stronger. We will work stronger together. We will build stronger. We are a community of like-minded people where we work together. If you're not like-minded with us, then we can't work together with you. Because let me tell you, even though we are all on different paths, no one can define success by themselves. So it doesn't matter where you are in this life, no matter what position you achieved thus far, you did not get there by yourself. So whether you are the president, the prime minister, the governor, the mayor, the doctor, the patient, teacher, student, whoever you are, whatever position you are in right now, if you are in there by yourself, No, that is absolutely a lie. You did not achieve it by yourself. Nobody cannot achieve anything by themselves. Absolutely not. The president got a whole team. The prime minister got a whole team they call them cabinet. And if you think really of a cabinet in your house, in your kitchen, you open your cabinet, there are stuff in there that you are going to need. There's stuff in there that you use. So it's the same thing as a cabinet in the political world, in the hospital, in the school, around the world. Cabinet simply mean there's stuff in there that you're going to need. So we say we might not say we need a cabinet, but we are going to say that we need a team. A team is a more than one person working together. I work with God, God work with me. We are a team. Boom, boom, boom. I choose God. I work on God's team. If you are on God's team, hey, come on in, let us work together. So this is the space that was created just for you. If you are ready to raise the level of consciousness and come in place, come in full alignment, this is a space for you. Yes, this is a space for you. Right now, we are in our season 10. Season 10 is a season of overflow and of abundance. So if you are ready to receive your abundance, if you're ready to receive your overflow, if you're ready to work with your overflow, with your abundance, then come on in, because your gift might just be the gift that I need to get into my overflow, to work with my overflow. My talent, my gifts might just be what you need to continue to work in your overflow. So whatever you achieve and you're in your abundance, don't keep it to yourself. Spill some, right, and serve it. It's like serving from your saucer or your overflow cup and your overflow mug, your overflow Stanley cup, or whatever cup you're drinking from. Hello, somebody. If you're having an overflow in your container, simply mean it is an abundance that's in there. So what are you going to do? You call somebody in, you pour some in there and let them sip, sip, sip. And what happened? They quench their thirst. They quench their thirst of poverty. They quench their thirst of low mentality. They quench their thirst of laziness. They quench their thirst of somebody that's inspiring them. They quench their thirst. So we want to quench somebody's thirst. We want to add to somebody. So when we achieve something, we don't just stay there and brag about what we achieve and forget that somebody is coming up the ladder. It is a ladder. It is a path. It is a journey. And if you're on a journey, believe me, you're going to meet somebody along the way, or something like a cat, rat, dog, somebody along the way. Everybody needs somebody. Am I telling a lie? No. Everybody needs somebody. Absolutely. Everybody. When God created us, He didn't let us create one man and say, hey, you go figure it out. No. He started adding up. He started adding up. And He said, let me tell you something, audience. Be fruitful and multiply. He said, when I create one, I realized, hey, that one can't multiply by itself. So guess what's going to happen? I'm going to create two. And then what happened? Two start put together and they start multiply. So when we say be fruitful and multiply and replenish the earth, we are saying that we actually need our gifts and our talent, our vision, our dreams, our goals, our expectation to come together, align together, connect together, and replenish the earth. Because that is our purpose on this land. It is not a sole purpose. It's a collective purpose, because each and every one of us got a purpose, or two or three. Purpose is not just one thing. Purpose is your passion blend up like a little blender, and you're putting things together. And that is how you see what your purpose is. Seek and find your soul purpose. When you find it, then guess what? That little passion that's going over there, you might just bring it over here, and we're going to ignite our passion, and we are going to replenish the earth. We need to replenish the earth. We need to share with somebody else, because guess what happened? We hear this before, that sharing is caring. And because sharing is caring, the world needs somebody to care, and the world needs somebody to share. So let's be kind and share that which we have. Good. Now that we get that out of the way, for those of you who are tuning in for the first time, absolutely the first time, you've never been on this platform before. You never heard of the Question Live Show before. You just never heard of Verona Willis-Brown before. Hello. Welcome, welcome, welcome. I want to introduce myself to you if this is your first time. Yep, indeed. My name is Verona Willis-Brown, and I will be your host for this show. Now, let me tell you a little bit about myself. I'm a native of the most beautiful place in the world, and that is Jamaica, West Indies. Yes, indeed. Where you're here, yeah, man. Come on, no problem. One love. That is where I hail from, and I am a proud Jamaican. Okay. And another thing I want to share with you, I came from a huge, oh my Jesus, yes, a huge family. When I say huge, I don't mean five. Huge family simply mean I'm doubling up. On one hand, I'm doubling up. I came from a huge family. And because I came from a huge family, honey, when you come in as a new person, you're just adding up to my family. You are adding up to my family, and I'm saying my family is getting huger. Is that a word? Huger might just be a word. If it's not a correct word, then it's going to be a word tonight. So you're just coming in. When you come on in here, you're adding up to my family. Another thing I want to share with you, newbies. I oftentimes consider myself as a farmer's daughter. The farmer's daughter. Why? Because I was raised on the farm. My parents were dedicated farmers. I watched things grow from the ground up, from the tree down, all of that. Stand outside, pick a fruit, and goods to go. Okay, so I know what it is to be on the farm, honey. I know what it is when they talk about organic. I know what it is to have fresh fruits and vegetables. So I am telling you that because a farmer got to plant a seed to watch it harvest. We are in the season of harvest. We want to reap in here. So I tell you about my farmer's background because I watched my parents plant a seed and I watched it grow because they planted on a fertile ground. And when they plant on a fertile ground and they till up the ground, they manipulate the ground, they work the ground, they pull up the weeds and all sort of stuff. They water it. They do all sort of things to get that little seed to grow. The reason why I am sharing that with you is because most of the time when I am talking about the topic or the content here, I use my farmer's background as an analogy. Why? Because every single thing that we do in this life starts with a seed. As you can see, they produce a lovely seed. That is more. They produce a lovely seed. Yes, they came together and the seed that they produce grow into this host that is hosting you right now. Yes. So guess what's going to happen? Usually when I am doing this show, the analogy of a seed is going to be tapping in some way. And I like to talk about my family because I'm the only one that could talk about my family. So every time you hear me jump in and say, I'm going to tell you a story about my family, you come a little bit closer so you can hear what I'm telling you about my family because I can do that. I have the permission to do that. Yes, indeed. I like to talk about my story because my story might just be a solution for you. My story just might be the solution you're looking for. So yes, indeed, come on in the room. Welcome, newbies. Now, for those of you who are tuning in for second, third, fourth, anytime after the first time, simply mean you are a returning audience. If you are a returning audience, I want to say to you, welcome. Honey, let me tell you something. You show up, I show up, we show up together, we work this thing out. Yes, indeed, because when you show up with your gifts, your talent, your intention, your expectations, We say, come on in, let us ignite and create a whole galaxy of greatness. Why? Because we operate from our inside and we bring out that greatness and we work on that. God so on to our DNA greatness. And when we are bringing out greatness, honey, we want to make an impact. Bam! We want to make an impact. We are not in here to impress nobody. So even if I mention all the accomplishment that I accomplished over the years, no, I am not here to impress you on my accomplishment. I am here to impart on you that you can do it as well. I am here to impart on you that no limitation is on you. So when we hear the words and the phrase, think outside of the box, I am here to tell you that the limitation that was set on my family, I break the barrier and showed up. But I didn't just show up. I showed up and took action. So when my audience show up, I am saying don't just show up and just peep on in here. Don't just show up and sit back and look cute because I can't even see you. Don't just show up and like, what's she saying? Show up and take action, because when you show up and take action, it is not only your intention that's going to work for you. Your expectation going to come in, your goal going to form, and you're going to have some manifestation. So show up with intention so you can have manifestation out of your expectation. You'll get what I'm saying? So come on in the room. Come on in. Now listen to me. Between you, newbies, and returning audience, I want to say to you, I got a new fan. Newbies, you don't know this, but every now and then I got to pull out a fan. And I got this lovely fan the other day, and I might have to use it somewhere along the show. So if you see me turn on this fan, usually I have the little church fan, but I got this fancy fan the other day, and I'm going to use it every so often. You're going to see me put on my little fan. It is very cool. Yep. I'm looking for the button. Yep. So every now and then, see, I put on my fan and I cool on down. Ladies, you know, every now and then you need a little fan going on, right? Boom. So I got my new fan and I am going to use it every so often on this episode. Right? So I bring it on up in here so I don't have to use my little church fan no more. Y'all know what I'm talking about when I talk about church fan. I'm talking about this kind of fan. You know, this church fan. Pop, pop, pop. So every now and then I use that. But no, I got this nice fan. Blow on me like this. And I'm good to go, right? So listen up. Newbies, I want to go back to you for a second. Here on this platform, we use the F word. Yes, we do. We use the F word a lot over here. The F word that I'm talking about is faith, family, and fun. Those are the F words we use. We use a lot of F words. Those are the three main ones that we use up in here. Faith, family, and fun. You see what I'm talking about with this fan? It's so flexible. Look at that. Flexible. I want to blow on my forehead. Keep cool. For those of you who wear makeup, you want to do like that. This should be a nice fan for you. No, I am not advertising the fan because I don't even know. I can't even tell you nothing about the fan, but what I'm using it for. But I'm saying that those of you who have makeup on and, you know, time is hot, you put this over your face and right? And you keep cool, keep your makeup in place. So it used for a lot of things. You can put it this way at the same time at that way. Very flexible. I like it. So do like that. You know, women, if you have a private summer, you know, the head get hot, you do like that, put it over your head. It's supposed to wear this way, put it around your neck. But I'm like, hey, different ways to do different things. You don't got to do on the norm. Just do like that. Right? Good to go. So again, as I mentioned, we use the F word around here. But not only that we use the F word around here, we celebrate. We celebrate around here. Okay, we do a lot of celebration around here. We celebrate small wins as well as big wins. And when we celebrate small wins or big wins, I ask you to come on in the room, drop in this comment section. What is it that you would like for us to celebrate? Yes, indeed. If you want us to celebrate something, maybe you graduated from somewhere. Maybe your child graduated. Maybe your child had a move up ceremony. Maybe you got proposed to. Maybe you found out you having a baby. Maybe you had a baby. Maybe you got married. Maybe you met a boo. Maybe you develop yourself a little bit more. Hey, maybe you stepped out of your comfort zone and you supported somebody. I want to say to you, whatever you did, listen, I celebrated a young lady the other day, and sister said that she could not fit in her shirt. Honey, she had a t-shirt, and she's like, listen, a couple of years ago, I couldn't fit in this, but that t-shirt could fit her right now. I celebrate her. She's like, listen, it was passing my neck. It was like right here. And then she tried again. It was like right here. And then she put it on again. And yes, Lord, it went all the way down. And she said, ooh, I felt so good in the t-shirt, honey. And all of a sudden, the t-shirt looked like it's going to be a nightshirt. Suddenly the t-shirt is hanging off her. So I celebrate little things like that. So come on in. Mo, I mentioned that my family is huge. The reason why I said this as well, my family got a birthday. So if you have birthdays, we celebrate that too. I have a cheerleading squad. My family celebrate birthdays almost probably, not almost. Every month my family having a birthday. Every month. Yeah. And every year, somebody in my family graduating from somewhere. Kindergarten, pre-K, high school, college, achieve something. They mastered up this. They became that, this, all sort of stuff. Judge, lawyer, doctor. You know, every year my family got something going on. So I want to shout out to my family who graduating, who achieving something out there, who move on up, who doing something, who make an extra step into achieving something. Hello, that's what we do. So now listen to me. As I said, I got this new fan, and I'm showing. Ooh, this new fan is so good. And like I said, I could do like this. It's look, the speed, the volume, the pressure of it. Look at that. It goes up some more. But listen, be careful of your eyelashes, okay? Be careful of your eyelashes. Because when you move up the speed, it could blow some blow. It gets some blowing on, okay? Ooh, what happened? Look like I need to charge it up. Oh, seems like I need to charge it up. No problem. My charger is right here. Oh, the good thing about it, it comes with a thing, a little charging thing. Come with a little charging USB thingy. And then it comes with a battery. So just in case you need to put in some battery because the thing is finished, put in some battery and you're good to go. So anyway, suddenly, see what I'm talking about? Suddenly my charger decide, my fan decide that, oh, I don't want to work no more. Okay, but it's not a problem. Always have something else, because when I'm finished, I will have to charge up my fan. So suddenly my fan stopped working. It needs to charge. I use it up all day. It's been about 95 degrees today, so I use up my fan today. So I'm back to the church fan today. Amen. Amen. They call it the funeral fan, the church fan. You know, those mother up in church and having a church fan. Oh, praise the Lord. Praise the Lord. So suddenly I had to go back to this. So don't forget where you're coming from now. Don't be putting things on the side. Act like you don't know how to acknowledge your little background and stuff. You know what I'm saying? Don't put no past and where you're coming from. You see, I always talk about my background, my farmer's background. Don't be leaving stuff out. Don't leave stuff out, right? Don't leave stuff out at all. So tonight we want to talk about suddenly, just like how my fans suddenly stopped working. We want to talk about suddenly. Audience, when we hear sudden, it's like immediate, right now, this very minute, today, right now, this very minute, right now. Because oftentimes what happened, we start thinking about tomorrow. We start thinking about tomorrow. And then, and then we start thinking yesterday. We saw dwelling back on yesterday, what tied us up for yesterday. But suddenly, today, right now, suddenly God will do something for you. Suddenly, God will do it. Suddenly, God can show up on your behalf. Suddenly, your dreams will come true. Suddenly, you will make divine connection. Suddenly, you will do a thing. Suddenly, you will say, my time is now. Suddenly, you will speak into your dream. Suddenly, you will speak into your vision. Suddenly, you will speak into your expectation. Suddenly, you will speak life into your own self. Suddenly, you will be healed. Suddenly, you will raise up. Suddenly, you will say, hey, I'm going to upgrade my mentality. Suddenly, okay? Suddenly simply mean right now. Suddenly mean immediately. You see, sometimes, let me tell you something. Sometimes you go to the doctor for a little checkup. And when you get there, they say, immediately, suddenly I had to do a surgery. Suddenly they had to rush me in the emergency room. And all you went for is just to check your fingernail, check your toenail, check your toe, check your knee. And suddenly they rush you into the emergency room. Why? Because it is require, something require the immediate attention. Let me tell you something, audience. Your destiny require your immediate attention. Your dreams require immediate attention. Yes, indeed. Suddenly your things, your dreams, your circumstances, your situation will turn around. Suddenly you say, God, I am tired. And suddenly God will rejuvenate you. Suddenly God will strengthen you. Suddenly God will show up on your behalf. I am telling you something here today, that if you are in the position to reap the benefit of that which you put in, that which you planted, suddenly your harvest will spring up. Suddenly your harvest will turn into abundance. Suddenly you will just start reaping the abundance. Because I tell you this, you heard this before. This is nothing that I am saying that's new. It is absolutely not new. You heard this before, unless you're just born today, right now. Unless you're just born today, or you're just born yesterday. Your parents did not start talking to you about this. But let me tell you this before we go any further. We heard this stuff before, that what you plant, you will reap. So anything that we plant in this life, we will reap the benefit of it. So I want to encourage you, if you've been planting good seed, well, if you've been planting seed of encouragement, inspiration, if you've been planting seed of motivation, if you've been planting something, because sometimes somebody good is your bad. Sometimes your bad is somebody's good. So if you've been planted solid, positive seed, mark my word today on this show, you are going to reap. So suddenly that which you planted will spring up. Did I make myself clear? Suddenly that which you put down is going to rise up. Suddenly the people that you put down is going to rise up as well. So mark my word, anything that we do in this life, it is a seed. Like I mentioned, my farmer's parents will plant a corn, and all of a sudden that corn is in the ground, because sometimes the ground looks tough. But when you till that ground, when you water that ground, when you say, hey, I'm going to nourish this ground, I'm going to fertile this ground, and when you do that, all of a sudden that one little corn that was planted is in the ground. Say, ooh, somebody is watering me. Ooh, somebody is quenching my thirst. Ooh, somebody is pulling up the wheat that's trying to choke me. Ooh, somebody is saying, when is this corn coming up? Ooh, somebody don't know that I'm in this ground. ground. I'm in this soil and I'm fertile. I am not choking anymore. Oh, when they put down that little corn grain, that corn grain is saying, hey, thank you for putting me down, but I am going to rise. And all of a sudden, that corn is like, ooh wee, I am working my way out into this soil. I am working my way that when they come back and they see me, they will not only see a little grain of corn, but they're going to see a whole thing, and not only the little grain of corn that was planted, but a whole family, honey, a whole generation, a whole seed. So let me tell you, you plant something, it will spring up. Whatever you plant, it will spring up. So if you plant it and it's going to bear from a tree, the tree is going to spring up. And when the tree spring up, stem going to be on it, branch going to be on it. And when those branches form out, fruit going to bear from those branches. I am not telling you anything that I don't know. I know what I am telling you. Honey, like the corn in the ground, so will the tree, and so will the fruit on that tree. So let me tell you, suddenly the tree that you sit there and say, ooh, that tree ain't bearing no fruit. Honey, the tree will bear fruit. And all of a sudden, the fruit's going to be in abundance that there won't be enough room to hold it down. There won't be enough room for you to pick all that tree. Let me tell you something. I love me some mango, baby. I love me some mango. And when I tell you I went mango picking for the first time, I went mango picking, and I saw mangoes until my eyes was like, woo! My eyes was just like, oh, what am I supposed to do with all these mangoes? I saw mangoes left, right, and center. I saw mangoes low. I saw mangoes high. And I just wanted to just sit on the tree. And some mangoes, I look, I'm like, can you just fall off this tree? Listen, I said, mango, I'm going to sit here until you decide to just break yourself off this tree and just come to me. I will eat you right on this tree right now. And do not look to the left nor the right. Let me tell you, suddenly you will learn how to climb a mango tree. Because I tell you what, when I went mango picking, I said suddenly I was going to go mango picking because I saw some strangers going mango picking. And I said, hey, I'm going to go with you because suddenly I got a urge to travel up the bushes. I had a urge to do something different. I had an urge to say, hey, I am going to break the record of when I am growing into my best version. I am breaking some barriers. I am breaking restrictions, and I'm coming forward and say, suddenly I am going to go mango picking with these guys. I went mango picking. Honey, I didn't look to the left nor the right. I was focused on that mango tree. But when I looked, I said, oh boy, that mango tree was bearing mangoes left, right, and center. So I didn't have to be distracted by the other mango tree that had more mangoes because the one that I was focusing on, ooh, yes, somebody was up in that mango tree, was picking up their mangoes. I said, sir, we are in this together. So it goes back to what I'm saying, that we are working together, because while is in the mango tree, picking those mango, somebody's on the bottom with a box collecting the mango. And boy, oh boy, I said, we gonna be friends. We working this out. Let's work this out together. I am praying for your safety in this mango tree, that when you get done, we are going to share this mango. Yes, sir. We are going to share this mango. That's right. And I tell you, I bust down some mangoes. Ooh, we just thinking about those mangoes, I get hot. My Lord. And this is what I'm saying to you. Suddenly, there will be a burst of energy to go after your dream. Suddenly, there will be a burst of energy to say, I'm not comfortable in this poverty. Suddenly, there will be a burst of energy to say, this health problem will not hold me down. Suddenly, there will be a burst of energy. It is the surge. And that surge is saying, go after your purpose. Because if you don't go after your purpose, I can't go after it with you. No, no, no. I can't. No, it's not my purpose. Let me tell you something. We don't want to bury our purpose in the grave. Our grave will not be rich from our gifts. The grave will not be rich from our purpose. No, absolutely not. So let me tell you, suddenly you will have that urge to go further. Suddenly you will have the urge to rise up. Suddenly you will have the urge to say, you know what? I need to work with somebody. Suddenly you will have the urge to seek and find who needs you. Yes, you are valuable to somebody. You are worthy of yourself, and somebody is waiting for your worthy self. You are valuable to yourself, and somebody is waiting for your value. So I say to you that suddenly there will be a burst inside of you, because guess what happened? Greatness is building up so much that your little body won't be able to contain that which is inside your greatness bubble, because that bubble going to pop. So suddenly that greatness bubble is going to pop, and you're going to be calling this one. Listen, I need to find this person. I need to find somebody. I need to find connection. I need to make connection. I need to spill that which is coming out of me. I need to spill this greatness. So suddenly you're going to have the urge to help somebody. Suddenly you're going to have the urge to love somebody. Suddenly you're going to have the urge to create peace with somebody. Suddenly you're going to have the urge to say, let us work together. Suddenly you're going to have the urge to share with somebody. Suddenly there's going to be a surge that is boiling up to say, suddenly, sis, let us connect. Because it's going to be a divine connection that is going to tie us together, and suddenly we will replenish the earth. Because that which we are on right now, no, we need to replenish it. So suddenly your dreams will come true. Don't believe me? Watch. If you don't believe me, just pay attention to what is happening around you. Pay attention to your dreams. Pay attention to your mentality. Pay attention to see if your mentality is rising up. Pay attention if your heartbeat is pumping and all in a conversation between your mind, because there's always a conversation between your mind and your heart, and they spread around and they create a space. They create a space of expansion. And when they create a space of expansion, they're saying, come on in this expansion. Come on in so we can fill up the space. Do not leave voided space and by distraction. Do not put your energy by distraction, because at this very moment, suddenly those space need to be filled. Okay, good. Now that we got that, let me tell you, suddenly there will be a breakthrough into the circumstances that you are facing. You see, oftentimes we go through circumstances and we get knocked down, honey, and we feel them pain. We feel those scratch. We feel those ache. We feel tired. Suddenly, those breakthrough, exactly what it is, going to break through. Suddenly, all those circumstances that drive us nuts, those circumstances I said, oh my God, I am not going to make it. Suddenly, there will be a surge of breakthrough, clashing like a glass, breaking glass ceiling, saying, hello, I am here. I am showing up. So don't just show up with a weak mentality. Show up with a mentality to say, I am here for my breakthrough. I am here to break glass ceiling, glass door, glass window, glass floor, glass anything. I am here to come forth. So suddenly, you will have breakthrough. Circumstances don't last for a while. Let me tell you something about circumstances. Come on in here. Let me tell you something. Let me tell you something about my family. Let me tell you about my family that I rise, that I fell up from, that I came from. Let me tell you something about my family. My family was considered the poorest of them all. My family was considered, you're not going anywhere. I told you I came from a huge family, and apparently they watched the amount of children that my parents had, and they said, ooh, sir, ma'am, where y'all going with all them children? You're not going to go nowhere, because how are you going to feed your children? Simply mean they put a label on my family and said, ooh, you are just so poor. But no, baby, we were not poor. We might be sharing this. We might have handout. But we were rich. We were rich, because richness is not about the amount of wealth that you gather throughout the years. Richness is not about the wealth that you have in your bank account, 10 bank accounts. Richness is not about the materialistic things that you gather. I was the one that sat there and said, oh yeah, I'm rich in education. My daddy told me, you put God first. And when you put God first, you will see that you will not lack anything. So let me tell you, as I build on my parents' legacy, I remember when, because sometimes we got to remember when. I got to remember when I had to share my food. I remember when my mother had to put pieces of this food in that food and that. I remember when. So let me tell you something. Suddenly, you will remember where you're coming from, and suddenly that coming from gonna put you where you're going, because that's where you're going is going to happen suddenly. And all of a sudden, because suddenly and all of a sudden, same thing, all of a sudden there is a big turnaround, and that which you remember become the former things. Yes, you must remember that which you came from. You must remember your story. You must remember what God has done for you. You must remember that God did something. You must remember that God got a clean track record. You must remember that you survived that which you went through. You must remember that, because suddenly that which you went through is now going to come in place. The illness that was trying to take you out, hello, you're here, and suddenly you're still going, but suddenly that sickness going to be gone. Suddenly you're going to be healed. Suddenly you're going to be stronger. Suddenly you shall rise up and amaze even yourself. So breakthrough is coming. Suddenly you might say, oh, but I got no money. Oh, suddenly I got no food. But it's not for long. It is a process, and we must go through the process, because when we are going through the process, what is happening? Ooh, we get tired. We get tired. Yes, we get weary. Yes, we get frustrated. Yes, we get angry. Yes, because it is our emotion. And when we start acknowledging our emotion, we start working with our emotion. We just don't dwell on them, but we acknowledge them, and we start working with our emotion. You will see that suddenly the very emotion that's trying to overtake you, suddenly there will be a counteract, and you will be stabilized. Suddenly, when your mental health is going all around the place, suddenly you will have stability. I am telling you, suddenly, that which who look at you to say that you will not shine, those who put you on a corner, those who put you in the dark, those who contribute to your darkness. Because let me tell you, just the same way somebody can support you positively, somebody can add to you negatively. Okay, so everything is a positive and a negative, and somebody can add to you, somebody can support you negatively. Did you know that? Did you know somebody can support you negatively? And just the same way somebody can support you negatively, somebody can support you positively as well. So lean on the positive side, honey. Lean over there. Lean that which not on your own understanding, but lean on the other side. Lean over there. Lean on God. Because let me tell you something. Suddenly, it is your time to shine. Suddenly, it is your time to grow. Because when my parents plant that seed, when it was time for the seed to spring up, it was time. So suddenly it is your time to grow. Suddenly it's your time to flow. Suddenly it is your time to glow away. Glow, glow. It is your time to flow, grow, glow. It is your time to shine. Suddenly your shine will be bright. But let me tell you something. Come on in, come in, and let me tell you something. That when you are shining and you survive enough to get to the point where suddenly your shine is brighter, do not dim your light for nobody. No, I don't care who they are. Do not dim your light for anybody, because anybody cannot stand your light, honey. You tell them go get themselves some sunglasses. And when they get some sunglasses, put it on, because you are not dimming your light to fit in nowhere. So suddenly you shall find your space around that table. Suddenly you shall sit around that table. Suddenly you shall say, hey, I am showing up big. Suddenly, when you show up big, you are not only showing up big, but you're showing up with a big intention. You're showing up to acknowledge the fact that there you go. Suddenly my stuff is falling. Suddenly, you're going to show up. And when you show up suddenly, what will happen? You showing up big. Because when you show up suddenly, right in this moment, what will happen? You're showing up for your reward. We're in the season of reward. And because we're in the season of reward, we are showing up big to receive it. Let me tell you something. I used to watch my parents. And when they go off to the market, honey, they have a harvest. They reap. Yes, they did. They reaped the benefit from what they sowed. And what they did, they didn't just get a little basket like this to put what they reaped. They got a bags and baskets and boxes and stuff to go on to the market. Because what happened? When you show up big, because you planted with big intention, you planted with the intent for something to grow, you planted something and expect big. You planted with the intention to say, I'm going to have a harvest someday. And when the pain hits you, and when you look, and when you plant something like what my parents did, plant something and there's no rain and there's no water, you'll start saying, ooh, my stuff is not going to grow. What I just planted is not going to grow. But honey, when you plant something with an expectation, where even if you did not even realize it was an expectation, you plant it with good intention. When you plant something with good intention, somewhere along the line it's going to grow. So suddenly, yes, indeed, suddenly it will become your harvest. And suddenly, when it becomes your harvest, what will happen? You got to come in big, honey. You got to come in to expect big. You got to come in. Don't come in with no little cup. Do not come in with a little saucer. Do not just come with a little spoon. Come in with every container that you have. Because suddenly, that which you planted is going to fill up containers. It is going to fill up your entire kitchen, your household, your space, your community, anywhere that you step, that you planted a seed. If you've been planting seed anywhere that you step in your community, outside of your community, honey, you will be having a harvest. So suddenly you must show up and show up big. Because when you show up big, you are showing up with containers. Honey, because you got to show up with containers, empty containers. Because when you plant a seed, what you got to understand is you are emptying out something out of you. When you plant a seed, you're giving out something. So when you give something, what happened? There is a space waiting to be replenished. When you give something, you are waiting for something to be filled up. When you have a cup of tea and you pour that cup of tea in somebody else's cup, what is happening? You have less. So the less that you have, suddenly it shall turn great. Suddenly that which you pour out, even if you serve from a minimal amount, somewhere along the line, suddenly it is going to be replenished. See, now y'all got me hot. I have to take out the church fat. Good. Because I want you to get the same heat that I am telling you about, that when it is coming and it is coming suddenly, you don't know when, because when things going to come suddenly, when things going to happen suddenly, it don't warn you, or when it warn you, you don't pay attention. But I called you up. Artists, I call you to pay attention. I call you to remember that seed that you planted in your children, in your family, in your household, in your job, in your business, in your entrepreneur LLC, in whatever you planted a seed, the next door neighbor. Listen, remember, I call you in remembrance. Remember the seed that you planted. And when you don't remember, God, remind me of what I planted. Because sometimes, let me say this, suddenly God will bring in remembrance, because oftentimes we plant seed and we don't remember. Because I tell you this, sometimes I plant seed and I don't remember. Sometimes I did something I don't remember, because I am not doing it for me. I am doing it to make God smile. So when I do something, I put myself in the back and I will do it. And I don't remember what I did. But sometime pass. Sometime pass. And somebody's coming from nowhere. Suddenly. The word suddenly mean immediately. When you least expect it, suddenly somebody show up like, oh, I just want to thank you. Huh? What are you talking? What we're talking about? And then somebody said, I really want to say thank you. Recently, somebody sent me a thank you message and said, I will never forget you. Why? Because of what you did. And I'm like, what are you talking about? So suddenly somebody will show up, or suddenly it will come to remembrance that which you did, that which God allow you to do. Because let me tell you something, you up there in position, you are going to remember. You are going to remember. And if you're in position, I want to say this really quick, that when we say support each other, oftentimes people misunderstand this word support and put it and wrap it around money. It is not about money at all time. If I say support me, it's saying like my channel, share my channel. My main thing is that you share the channel. It's not even so much of subscribing to the channel, but share the content, because what we drop here is juicy content. So suddenly, all of a sudden, you show up and you don't share. But I'm telling you, if you are in the position where you got an accomplishment, more than one, if you're in abundance, and abundance means you gather, you have a big harvest throughout the years. Do not say that you accomplish, you work hard. I work hard for this. I'm not giving it to nobody. Nobody's telling you to give up what you accomplished. But I am pleading with you to share that which you accomplish. Share even the information of how you accomplish it. I am not telling you to go into your wealth and dig out from your wealth and start giving it away. No, do not misquote what I'm saying. I am saying what I say, share. Go into your memory box, right there in your memory box, and remember who helped you. I remember the community that you came from, because let me tell you, a lot of us came from some community, honey. Yep. Go back to your community. Help at least one person. Replenish the community that you came from. Do not forget the former things. Do not forget the former footsteps. Do not forget the former support. Oftentimes give salute to one young lady, one goddess, one queen, Shelly Ann Fraser from Jamaica. If you don't know her, she's the fastest woman, just rolling with her little tiny feet, just rolling away. Yes, I like to shout out Jamaica almost every time. Shelly Ann Fraser. I like to talk about Shelly Ann Fraser. Even if I don't talk about her on the show, I like to talk about her because I salute her. I salute her because she never forget her former place. She never forget her community. Usain Bolt, they never forget their community. I watched Usain Bolt message the other day. He was talking, it was a news that his mother, his parents don't want to leave their community. So what he did is say, okay, I'm not trying to take you out of your community, mom. Dad, I'm not trying to move you from where you love. You want to be here? Good, no problem. What he did, he said, all right, I'll tell you what. You stay here. But I'm going to replenish the community. And what he did, he replenished the community in such a way that the community is so replenished that mama ain't leaving nowhere, but the community is so replenished that they have their own stuff in that community. So I give salute to you, Usain Bolt. I give salute to Shelly and Fraser, because that is what I'm talking about. When you get that which you accomplish, you didn't get it by yourself. It is God that I allow you to accomplish it. Go back and replenish your community. So suddenly you will have a urge, a surge of energy to go out there and help somebody. I want to thank you so much for tuning in to this Question Live show. I want to thank you so much for being here. Don't forget, sharing the live is support, and all we need to do is support each other. See you at the next go around, which is tomorrow, same time, same place. God's willing. Thank you so much, because suddenly you shall see a thing or two that which you don't expect. Thank you so much for being here, and be of good sport. Yep, be of good faith. Don't forget to walk in faith as we go forward. Talk to you tomorrow.